This is Saturday, February 19th, 2000, here at the Chastain Horse Park in Atlanta, Georgia. We're here for a bomb-proofing clinic, which has been hosted by Mr. Jack Murphy of the Cobb County Police Horse-Mounted Unit and his colleagues Jeff and Alan. And that's Jack Murphy there in the black hat. With his back to us is Alan. And Jeff has got the blue sweatshirt on. And they've brought a lot of equipment with them, which we'll take a look at as we proceed here. The bomb-proofing is expected to last maybe 5 or 6 hours. They're going to expose the horses to a lot of noise and obstacles and things and see if they can get acclimated to that kind of interference. We've got barrels, we've got, zoom in there. We've got barrels, we've got milk jugs full of gravel, we've got cans on strings, we have what they call the bridge over here, which they're going to step over, and we have tires that they're going to step through. So we'll be showing bits and pieces of this here with the horses owned by the Chastain Horse Park. You can probably hear this. We're getting started. It's pea gravel inside milk jugs. Just getting all the horses kind of used to the idea of the sound. They're all lined up here in a row. Looks like they're taking a few steps in here and there. Getting a little closer to the horses. That's Alan right there. That's Jeff down there. They're all with the Cobb County unit. Jack Murphy, the head of this crew, is behind this horse. You can't see him, but they do this 4 or 5 times a year to get their horses ready to deal with the crowds that they encounter. As part of the Cobb County unit, they work at parades and other kinds of public functions and fairs and things, and you never know what kind of noises they're going to encounter, so they need their horses to be ready for the crowd. They do this 4 or 5 times a year to make sure that the horses are constantly exposed to this kind of noise and these distractions. It's also very useful for trail horses, Jack was telling me, because they're able to make it easier for the horses to go over obstacles and, you know, whether that on trails, stepping over logs, things like that. We're getting real close to the horses now. All seem to be faring pretty well. And they're not shaking them as loudly now. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're kind of fading it out. Now they can let the horses kind of sniff and check out the jugs. A few of them aren't too sure about these jugs. After they've let the horses check out the jugs a little bit and sniff them and poke at them, then they shake them again a little bit to remind the horses that they do make noise. Some seem to be tolerating this better than others. Jack's working on this chestnut horse here to try to get it comfortable. There's Alan working with this one. I think it's going to be a pretty long morning here as they get used to it. take a pause here before I cut off. I'm John Adams, and my wife Mary is right there holding her hand up. She works with the team here in the therapeutic program at Chastain. I'm just a volunteer here on the weekends on occasion. See, they're going behind the horses now. See what that's like. Jack told me this whole first part is called sacking them out. And it's just getting them used to noise. I'm not going to do anything going through the obstacles yet. That comes later. Just want to get them comfortable with all the noise and the commotion. I'm not going to film this whole thing. It's 5 or 6 hours. I'm just going to show you portions here and kind of fill in on the few minutes that we miss, so you don't have to watch the whole thing to understand how the process worked and to understand how the different horses reacted, which is probably going to be helpful over time. I'll get someone else later to tell us which horses are which. This business with the milk jugs has been going on for perhaps 10 minutes now total, and they're still just working around the horses, going behind them, letting them sniff the jugs occasionally. Obviously working a little more with the horses. We're spending more time behind the horses now, kind of just mixing it up. I guess Johnny seems to be the...
To an individual horse that we can work on like
Chuck. Really working on this guy here. Special needs or people with all firecrackers, gunshots. So now this horse here, I don't know what the horse's name is. This apparently is a pretty a lot of the noises are being made.